Hello and welcome, folks, to another edition of RSF Radio. I am your host, Joe Monday, and I'm tired. I'm tired, folks. It's been a long week. So much is going on, but I cannot stop the show, and I can't stop our next guest from coming on. That's right. I have with me on mic tonight, Alex Myers. How you doing?
What's up, Joe? I'm doing great. It sounds like you're not doing so great, but I'm going to try and carry this along for us, you know. But yeah, thanks for having me.
I need your energy. I need the pull
I'm
from you.
trying to bring it.
I need the
I'm
siphon.
coming off a long night too, you know. I just came back from WNF. I'm not doing too hot too, so we're gonna bore you guys to sleep on this podcast.
Oh, that's true. I mean, you guys. That's the thing about Wednesday night fights that is, to me, that's the most insane shit about Wednesday night fights is fucking how long it goes on. Like the time.
It's wild. It's wild.
You can speak to it, but like the physical challenge it is to even like show up, because you guys don't even start till like.
We start at like 9:30, 10.
I was going to conservatively say 8 p.m., but now I'm like,
no.
I'm thinking about like having that in my life. And like, no, I would actually have a heart attack. I would be collapsed. That would be too much.
There's people, you know, like one that comes to mind is like Pinoy, right? Really good SoCal Bison from San Diego. It's like, you know, like a 2.5, 3 hour drive to get to WNF for them. And then he leaves like at 3, 2, and then has to go back to San Diego, gets up like at 8 or 7, something like that. It's something crazy. I don't even know how he's functioning the next day. If I wasn't a pro gamer, you probably would never see me at WNF. It is not good for a normal human being.
It's not good
with
for your
normal
health.
work hours. No, not at all.
But I mean, people do because they love it, and there's a lot of love for the games out there and that community in general. I mean, they run a good show out there.
They do, yeah. There's more and more TOs stepping up. There's one new guy. I didn't really quite get his name, but he's good. There's Chelsea. You know Chelsea. She's a great TO, and Valle, of course. You know they're all carrying the WNF ship pretty well. I'm pretty happy to be back in SoCal playing over there.
And speaking of that energy and love for the games, I think we can hop into the first thing that I want to talk about, and the thing that I wanted you on to pitch was your new show.
My show.
Yeah,
yes, my new show.
Not your very specifically branded Not Excellent Adventures.
Not Excellent Adventures. Please, guys. We're trying to pay homage. People are like, "Oh, you're replacing Excellent Adventures, all this and that." No, like me and Jeremy could never replace Mike or Gooey. We're just trying to do our own thing. We're just really happy, you know. So far, people are responding very positively to it. So, you know, it's going a lot better than I thought, you know, like, you know, I'm not really good on camera per se yet, but I think you guys are going to like the episodes. It seems like the people liked the first episode a lot. I felt like I was struggling a little bit the first episode, but the second and third episode, I loosened up a little bit. So it's a work in progress, but people are liking it. And, you know, this is something I feel like the community kind of needs right now. We've been kind of in a drought, I would say. There's some, you know, kind of Excellent Adventures, kind of, how would I put this? Like people trying to like carry it on, like bogus event journeys, I think. Yeah. So
yes,
like,
that's correct.
Yeah. We're trying to do kind of something like that. But luckily I have, you know, Tempo Storm, my team, helping me produce it. And like, we're starting to get, you know, people coming up wanting to sponsor the show. So, you know, the bigger it gets, the better the episodes are going to get, because we're trying to get all sorts of people on the show. And as long as the people like it, you know, keep watching, we'll keep making them.
Well, because it has so many. Here are the things that I see that are going well for it, and that happened before you guys even turned on a camera, that I have seen so many other people attempt. Because like once Excellent Adventures stopped and there became that huge gap of people saying, we need, like, where's Excellent Adventures? I need to know. I crave it. It's what I crave.
Yeah, right.
It was that huge drop for the longest time. And you saw so many people try and replicate that same
formula, right?
Yeah, that same formula. Yeah. But all they did was replicate the we're two dudes on a couch playing a fighting game, and that was like it for the most part. Where there's actually a ton of other things that went into that show that made it special in a way that was like pleasurable to watch, like with your eyes and listen to with your ears, like that people just don't think about.
Yeah,
and
like,
so I
just
think
their chemistry alone, I thought was really good. You know, like they just.
But,
that's something we're working on right now.
Like, yes, there's that too. Like, they're great personalities, of course. But, I mean, even outside of that, I think that there's a level of production to it. But then also, like, just a love for the game, which we'll get into that for a minute. But just something that I'm, like, continually reminded of is recently. And when I say recently, I actually mean I have no fucking clue how time works. So this might have been 6 months ago. This might have been half a year ago when Steve ran an AMA. Steve, who was the guy behind the camera on Excellent Adventures, and he kind of talked about the production and what it looked like. And just seeing all of his answers to that being like, oh, yeah, no one who has attempted anything like this has put any amount of effort even close to this. But I think what you and Tempo Storm are doing, what that whole team is doing is pretty much on par. I mean, you've got like a whole set picked out. You've got trinkets.
Trinkets? What do you mean by trinkets?
I don't know. I like so there's a little like pyramid in the middle of like of the stuff. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we got like I took Carolyn's figurines without her knowing. You know, they told me last second, hey, we need some figurines, and that was kind of a plain set. So I was like, all right, let me just jack my girl's expensive figurines. She wasn't too happy about that, but
like you have a set, right? It's not. Yeah. It is a couch, correct? But it's a set, right?
It used to be a podcast room, and then they spent like a whole week just like tearing it apart and just making it into the set that you see now, which is really sweet. It's got like the Red Bull fridge there, two couches next to each other. Everything's like set up in a certain way, and I was really impressed, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out.
Yeah, it's like you can see the work that was put into it before you turned on the cameras. At least I think so. That comes through. But then you turn those cameras on, and the thing that I think that you and Vicious have specifically that I think was missing from a lot of people who tried to replicate the formula is one. Did I say two things? Because I think
you said one.
Okay, no. It's a couple things.
Okay.
Is that one? You guys have the skill. You're skilled players. So like you're starting off with like you know what you're doing on a playing the game level.
Two, technical basis, right? Yeah.
Is that you know what you're doing? Like you actually like not only can you physically do the thing, you can explain the thing and know when you fucked up or know when your opponent is fucked up and know when the other player like when Vicious has fucked up or he can throw it back at you the same way. It's that level of understanding like that I think was sometimes missing from that show.
Yeah, I agree. And like you could see like people, someone commented on our video the other day. They're like I like the idea, but like I think you guys are too skillful for this part of it. Part of the joy of watching it was like seeing them suck. And like people forget that like Mike made top 8 at Evo. He's Mr. 4th place for a reason. You know that it's a meme, but like dude, you got 4th place at Evo. Like that's hella hard. And then Gutex. Yeah, and Gutex, he's always been a solid third strike and even SF4 player in the beginning. Like he created the shimmy, the Gutex shimmy. No one was shimmying in 4 until they saw old Gooey over there start shimmying. So these guys were skillful, but maybe they just like they were having a little too much fun with it. They would just try a lot of random characters, and you can even see with us now. Like you may say we're skillful. Hold on, man. This damn airport. Hold on.
Let it rock. Let that 747 blow on through into this podcast. Let it rock.
I'm gonna just be sweating in here now because I closed the door, but whatever. Anyways, you may say like they or where was I? It was like we're playing random characters, right? Like we asked the people to poll.
You set
like,
up a poll.
Set up a poll, play our characters. So like we're dude, I lost hella points. That's my account. Like we switched it, and like you say we're too skillful, but we're pretty ass with like a lot of these random characters that you want us to play. Like people wanting us to play like Cody, you know, Fang, Blanca, and it's just like, dude, like first off, we don't know those characters at all, so I feel like they can enjoy part of that struggle too, because like we're trying to learn a new character, they experience the same kind of thing when they're learning a new character, you know. So I feel like we do know what we're doing, but we're still struggling enough to where like the viewers like, oh, you know, I've gone through that too. Like they feel like some kind of like familiarity, you know.
They can live through it as well, because that's like part of it is that I think at some point a lot of players experience this. I think especially at your level, especially when you change to a character that you've never played before, is that when you try to pick it up, you know in your head what that character should be doing, right? Like you know what a Zangief should be doing, but can you do it? Can you do it? Can you recall those things live in a set to actually make it happen?
Yeah.
Maybe. You might.
I might get lucky. I might remember a gimmick or two, you know, but like, but it's still like I'm playing Zangief. I don't play grapplers, you know, so like the only grapplers I play are like, you know, hybrid grapplers. They're not real grapplers, you know.
The third element that I think that you guys have that has been missing is just that I think is actually the most important in terms of being like in front of a camera, playing and talking to people and talking to each other is just you guys are having fun.
Yeah.
Like that people like, I don't know why people forgot that fighting games were fun and that you could have a good time playing them. But I feel like there's so much like discourse around like the internet zone and people talking, just being like, this is no fun. Esports takes out the fun, where it's like, hey, fighting games are fun to play. As it turns out, it's good to see that.
I'm glad you feel that way, and like that was kind of, you know, the whole goal with the show. You know, like, you know, it's still a bit anxiety inducing for me and Vicious to an extent. You know, he's more comfortable on camera, but like, you know, there's that feeling of like anxiety before you're going on the show. Like you're gonna feel the pressure, you know, but you still have to remind yourself, you know, you're just there to have fun. It's not really about like any kind of success or you want for the show or anything. It's just you have to remind yourself why you're there and just have fun with it, you know. So even though I'm a little bit nervous doing the show, I just remind myself of that, and I'm glad, you know, it translated into the show. You know, you can tell we're having fun. We're just there to have a good time. You know, we want to have a good time, and we want the viewers to have a good time with us too. You know.
All right, where can people, if people were looking to find what we're talking about, where would they look?
Okay, so where is it? So it is on my YouTube, youtube.com/AlexMyersSF4. I need to change it to Alex Myers FGC because those are my other socials. But if you want to catch
branding, #branding.
I do, like, I can't get a hold of anyone from YouTube. I'm like, please, like, help me. Like, let me change this. I made this in SF4 and I regret it. But Twitch is where we actually live stream it. So the cool thing about what Excellent Adventures did was like they focus only on YouTube, you know, but we want to, you know, introduce a new element so the viewers have some fun with us while we're playing, even try and stream snipe us. You know, we had a few people, you know, watching the show in chat, you know, talking shit. not really, but you know, it's just a fun thing so the viewers can, you know, interact with us as long as they're around, you know, the same, you know, diamond level or whatever. They can, you know, have fun and play with us. So you can check us out on twitch.tv/AlexMyersFGC. I think the next one is going to be on July 12th. So that's the next one we're aiming for. We're doing these about once a month. Because I'm traveling a lot. Jeremy's traveling quite a bit too.
Yeah,
so,
you're both very active within the community in your own right, and setting up something like that between your two schedules, I'm sure, is not the easiest thing.
It's not, but luckily, you know, we try and film, you know, enough parts during the stream that we have at least 3 to 4 episodes. We're thinking about maybe 4 episodes for the next one, maybe 3. I don't know. We're gonna have a guest on. We're still looking for a guest. We have a few in mind, but
very good. That was going to be my next question of will there be a guest seat on the show? But
there you go.
Here we are.
There's going to be guests, of course.
We're not going to say that name out loud because who can say whether that will fall through or not?
Exactly. So let's just say we're going to have a guest. So for now, yeah, we're going to have a guest. Hopefully that can give us the 4th episode. So when we put it on YouTube, there'll be one once a week, so we're trying to make it so there's at least 1 episode a week. This one, there might be a week where we don't have one before the next filming, but hopefully that makes people, a little hungrier for the next episode, next batch of episodes,
Yeah. You typically want an episode every week. That's the drip, right?
Yeah. Well, trying to just have a consistent, flow of content. Just so, people know we're out there, we're putting it out there, and they know to check us out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and of course your stream. Where did you say what channel you're streaming to? Was it Alex Myers FTC as well?
It is twitch.tv/Alex Myers FTC.
Okay, I don't know why I thought for a moment it would be like on Tempo Storm stream, but
so I did think that initially, but it was like kind of my idea, and I've been trying to get all this going together. So we just figured it'd be right to put it on my channel.
Which, streaming it is a risk. Like you said, you have those people stream sniping. You'll always get that guy who beats you, and then you look in the chat for that GG, and in your mind that was not, in fact, a GG, but also you have to hold that GG.
I'm like, okay, GG, get the hell away from me.
That's the saltiest hold that you have to... That, I think... Now that I'm thinking, there's 4 things that I think it has, four elements that make it good, and it is the stream chat because as it is right now, that's the only way for players to communicate to each other live.
Exactly, if you, like the actual people playing, right?
Yeah, because otherwise it's just you have nothing. Back in the day, it was you could message over XBL, but now you have to just stream snipe someone and then drop that GG and leave.
It's like, dude, just beat my ass and keep it moving. You don't need to come in my... Yeah. But that is kind of the fun of just even watching a streamer, because I know back in 4 when PR Rog used to stream a lot, I tried so hard to just always find him. Mm-hmm. Same thing for Gutex. I would see hey. Be like, hey, we're on ranked. Come try and find us. I would always try and find. That's why, if you look back in some of the Excellent Adventures episodes, I was a guest in a way because I was in I think 3 of them. So yeah, it's definitely part of the experience, and I'm glad we could replicate that in a new kind of fresh way right now. Twitch is the new thing. So yeah, it's fun. I'm glad the people enjoy it.
I really think that it translates into a modern audience. Just me putting on air. Anyway, no, it's a good show and good on you. But one thing I wanted to ask, and this is somewhat related to your show, is that you've been with Tempo for quite a long time. How long has it really been now?
It's almost... Let's see. So 2017 was my first year. 2018 was my second year. So come August, that would be my 3rd year with Tempo if I do renew. Yeah,
that's some longevity that you don't often see within the community or even in esports at all. That's that's kind of long. But you've been putting in work, and they've been growing over the years, and
they've been growing a lot. I feel like we've been growing together at a very good pace. We're trying to always support each other, and I'm trying to give back as much as I can. I've been pretty injured the past year, and luckily I'm getting over it now, but it's been real hard on my CPT because I can't practice as much. I can't I feel like I'm not able to perform as well because of that either, and it's just
would you want to explain exactly what happened and how you've been recovering?
Yeah, sure. So to kind of dive into that,
unless there was something about Tempo Storm that you wanted to share. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there a little bit.
Tempo, we can wrap.
We'll wrap back around. We'll sandwich this conversation. But sorry, go ahead.
So, I got injured about a year ago in May. It was kind of like something that I could feel it was happening, but it was I started working out with Danny Pham
Mhm.
around December 2017, and that was like my like New Year's resolution thing. I was like, I want to get real fit, I want to look good, and what I was doing was I was working out 4 to 5 times a week, and then I would immediately go stream for 4 to 5 hours. So that's a lot of stress on your hands. And for
Yeah.
one, I think you would be okay if you lifted the right way. Like I didn't get properly or I didn't really ask Danny the right way to lift it. Maybe he kind of assumed because I kind of lifted before that I knew the right way, but because I upped the intensity and the amount of times I was going to the gym so much that like me doing like the wrong kind of curls, like I was very ego driven in the gym, which was like my downfall. Like I would try and lift too much, and then I would have to compensate by curling my wrist. And then by doing that, you're supposed to keep your arm straight the whole time.
Yeah,
But
that's
I would
supposed to be like in line with the natural curve of your arm, so that when the bar rests, it rests in your natural resting hand position instead of,
just crunched up, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that, and then I got real messed up. I was doing that for like 5 straight months. That kind of schedule, not to mention going and traveling and stuff. So that was just kind of compounding the injury too. I kept trying to travel on top of the injury. Like I thought it'd be okay, and then I ended up making it really bad. Like around I would say around Evo time, because I was like really messed up. But I did okay considering how I was feeling, but like
Right.
it was really impacting my practice time before. Like I had to play pools or even like everything in general. So it's just been like going through waves of like trying to recover and like fighting. I had like some real bad like depression, like not like really bad depression, but like depression to the point where like that like I felt so much pain practicing that like it would discourage me from playing so much, because like I could only play like maybe like an hour or 30 minutes at a time without it like burn, like my arm like in burning pain,
Right,
so
yeah. Almost like a Pavlovian response of teaching you that playing is painful.
yeah.
That could be
What does Pavlovian mean? I'm a pleb over here. I don't know.
Pavlov's dogs. He taught them to salivate by ringing a bell and then feeding them. It's like tying another unrelated thing to another thing to like teach your body how to do something. But anyway.
I see. So yeah, I got injured, and then it's been rough because like I've been able to like slowly build up this season, and just I've been kind of using the past 3 months of CPT to just like to work on my mental game and to just practice as much as I can offline at events, right? Because I can still play to an extent during the past 3 months, but like I just couldn't overdo it. So
Right.
I just been trying to build things up to when I do feel better. But now, luckily, I am feeling like I can play a lot longer, and I'm feeling less hurt on average. Knock on wood. Hopefully, something doesn't happen. But
well, what
luckily,
steps have you taken to recover? Because there's some physical therapy involved. I'm
a
sure.
lot of things. Yeah, ton of physical therapy. Like that was one of the rougher parts in the beginning, because it's that's another thing that would like exhaust me. Like I would go to physical therapy, and like it not only is it physically just exhausting, but like because like you're going through all that pain, like because you're trying to like recorrect something, but also like I just would be so tired mentally after physical therapy that I just didn't want to do anything after. So it was a lot to take in, and then luckily a couple months ago I moved back to SoCal. And then Red Bull sponsors Tempo Storm, so I'm considered a Red Bull athlete under the brand. So I can go to Red Bull, and they have a PT, two PTs over there, and I can go see both of them. And they've been like slowly helping me and giving me better tips, helping me fix my posture, working on things that weren't only my arm. Because for a long time I would go to PT and just get my arm worked on, but then we started to understand that like, hey, like your whole body is the problem. Like your arms connected the nerves are connected to your spine, you know. So like your back, you're not sitting straight
Right.
enough. Your shoulder blades are all messed up for some reason. Maybe because of how I had been playing for so long that like I did like some additional damage over a long period of time that I wasn't even aware of.
Yeah,
So
I'm like kind of laughing and thinking about a doctor being like, yeah, your arm's a problem, but kind of all this is real bad.
everything's fucked up. Sorry, man.
Everything about you is, yeah, you're no good.
You're kind of maybe you should retire.
So hey, listener, shoulders back. By the way, if you
shoulders back, and another thing that helped me a lot for people out there is like, there's this one thing I was thinking about making a YouTube video, but there's certain like stretches you can do in the beginning, like we call them windshield wipers. I don't know if you can find them online, but like you basically like turn your hands inward towards each other and then go back, and then you want to hold them for like 2 seconds when you come inward, and then you do like 5 of those, and then you close your fists and do that 5 times. You come inward, hold it for like 2 seconds, and then you do them backwards, like so you flip your hands upside down and do that. And then I've been doing that before I play, and it kind of primes my hands to be, or hands and arms to be ready to play. And then another thing is that I learned recently that's been helping me a lot is like every like 5 to 10 minutes I'll roll my shoulders back, like just kind of roll them back and stretch my arms backwards. So like just any kind of stretch to get mobility. You don't want to focus on like stretching your hands. Like a lot of PTs tell you need to like do wrist flexions where like you hold your hand, but like the thing that I learned that works the best for me and for like how I game is like you need mobility stretches, because when you hold the stretch you're kind of doing more damage than good with when it comes to like gaming and stuff. So if you can just like push your arms back like kind of to the side, like behind your head, and just feel like a decent stretch and come back in, like that every couple sets, like that's been helping me a lot, and it's helping me play a lot longer. So best advice I can give you guys so you don't get messed up like I did. And but to tie back in tempo, this shows like basically I want to give back to the community, but it's also a way for me to build into like being, you know, more of a personality. It's not like I don't want to stop competing, but I would like to be, you know, more versatile, you know, like it's just another way to give back to tempo for everything they given me, you know. So I'm glad
it can be both. You can be both.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's doable.
There's one guy that people always bring up. It's like Esam. He's really good at doing both. Like he's like a top player in his game, but he's also really good with content. And Zero kind of used to be that way too, but he's more a streamer now. But it is possible. It's just moderation, you know. That's why I like doing the show once a month. That way, you know, I do it. I'll maybe focus on it for a few days before the show, like to prepare, and then like once it's out, you know, I can go back to focusing on performing.
I think Brian F is good at that as well.
Oh yeah, Brian's very good at it.
He has a great job at that. I think he cuts together these very.
He does Twitch clips, right, and then he makes them into YouTube videos. But
he'll take
that's a
like
good grind.
Little nuggets of information or things where he is training or watching. Some of his favorite content that he does that I enjoy is when he breaks down how he messed up in a certain set, and then just step by step goes at it and goes, oh well, here's what I needed to have done, obviously, because that's what you have to do, and he just does it and shows. I respect
that of Brian, but like for coming from my standpoint, I would rather analyze people and analyze my stuff on my own, because I don't like giving people like free information on myself.
Don't want to give them the secrets.
Yeah, so sometimes I'll just watch Brian's stuff and I'm like, all right, dude, like you're literally telling me how to beat you. Like
that reminds me specifically with Brian. I forget which tournament this was. It might have been NCR, but it was before JB and Brian F were going to meet each other in pools.
Oh, dude, I remember.
And Chelsea was like, here's Brian F's video on how to beat Balrog with Rashid. This is the things he's looking for. Don't do these things.
That was so funny. I was like, Brian, like you should have known this is like something people are going to do. And it wasn't even JB who did it. It was Chelsea. So JB didn't even do his own homework. It was in Chelsea. But
I mean, good looking out for her.
I think it was Frosty Fausting.
Oh, was it? Okay. I couldn't remember which coast they were on, but that makes that I think makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, Midwest, right? That's
no, Frosty's in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. What?
Right?
Is that like that's not Midwest?
That's in PA. Like that's basically the coast.
Oh, what?
Yeah, look on a map. Philadelphia to New York City is like.
Oh, you're right. You know,
far.
Because Punk's from Philadelphia, and he would always go to next level back in the day.
Yeah, like now if we're talking like, granted, PA is a long state. I'm in Pittsburgh. That's like a 5.5 hour drive just to get to Philadelphia. It's a different thing. It's not as easy.
No,
wait a minute. Is Frosty in Chicago? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Frosty is in Chicago.
Frosty's in... What the fuck is in... What am I thinking of?
You might be thinking of... there was one that they had this year. I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
We'll show it in the... That'll be in the show notes. And by that, I mean it super won't be. I'll super forget about it. The Big E.
The Big E one. It's not... It might have been Summer Jam you're thinking of.
Maybe.
But there was also one... I'm looking up past events on it. Oh, these are just my past events. No, wait, these are all the best ones. April Annihilation. That was in New Jersey.
Okay. Yeah, well, whatever. Regardless, I was wrong. I'll eat those words. I don't know why I thought that. That's fine. But yeah, it's Chicago based. But
it's Chicago. Whatever.
I'm a dummy. And you all can hold that against me. Sorry, Chicago. And also sorry, Philadelphia. But anyway, so that is the kind of content you're looking forward to making, and you're working with Tempo to achieve those things. And I think there's something specifically about the way that they've built themselves as a team, as opposed to what I've seen other teams do, is that why they haven't fizzled out is because it has been a slow build. That's something that within like esports and the way that it intersects with the FGC is that you cannot like bet big and expect any kind of big return on the other side of it. There's just way too many examples of that not working.
I feel like Echo Fox is a good example of that. Like they would bet on like a lot.
They had
of
everybody. You remember when they had everyone?
They had everyone. I saw them almost every damn week in their Fox orange and blue, whatever.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. They had everybody, and now they have Sonic Fox.
They have Nakodu and Sonic Fox.
That's it.
They have some really like prominent names still. Like they have MK Leo.
I mean, they have like other
Sonic Fox.
They do other stuff with like that is not FGC related as well. So
yes,
it's like course. that's part of their business model as well, and that's fine. It's just that, like that was like not even that long ago where it was like a culling of, hey, this week we cut all of these players. This week we cut like all of our other players. Yeah, it was
Punk
wild.
Rebounded pretty well though. Like I remember that was a big fiasco back in the day, you know. But yeah, like I'm really proud of Tempo and how they've built the brand, and like I'm honored to rep them, and hopefully now that I'm feeling better I can start performing the way I want to, you know.
Yeah, that's good. I would recommend making that video of showing how to do arm stretches because that's important. That's a fucking chapter in the book, man. Like physical health is important. Like
it is.
It super is.
And like I feel like people need to know that, especially now that so many more people are grinding out fighting games now, that like I feel like this is something I wasn't aware of, what that was even a possibility when I first started. Like you see an arcade stick, you're like, like should be fine. Like it looks like it's not going to hurt me, but like it can if you compound it with other things, And
if you're playing, to other people, if you're playing for longer than an hour and you haven't stood up, like
you're doing damage.
You're doing damage. It compounds.
It definitely compounds. Like I always recommend, like, every hour get up, take a break, and every like 10-15 minutes stretch your arms back, and it does wonders. Like as long as you're aware of it, I feel like it helps a lot, especially at tournaments, because I feel like people will play casuals and like they don't get up, So if you're not gonna get up, at least stretch your arms, roll your, because it's natural. You're gonna slouch over. You're gonna hunch in. It's just a natural thing. So just be careful, guys.
You're gonna get into it's game time mode, and you're gonna do that lean forward.
He shimmied me. It's game.
All right. Well, Alec, is there anything else that you want to add to that conversation before we move on to a couple of these notes here?
I think that's it. Yeah, guys, just check out the show. Support Tempo, support me, and yeah, I hope you guys continue to watch the show.
Yeah, I'm a fan, and I'll be tuning in for sure.
I'm glad you like it, Joe. That means the most. I don't care about the rest of the people. It's just Joe.
Right? You got that Joe Monday seal of approval. That's how you know.
That's all I need.
Okay. It's the seal of quality. It's like a Nintendo's. Do they still do the Nintendo seal of quality? Is that a thing? And they still do that?
Let me see. I feel like they don't.
Hold on. Let me look. Let me look at this case down here.
Seal of quality.
It is not
seal of quality.
It is not on the Smash Brothers. So Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, not a Nintendo quality game. It does not have the seal of quality.
That's so like iconic. That little seal,
little gold seal. Yeah.
I couldn't visualize I couldn't picture what you meant when you said that, but man, I totally remember this now. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I know. The Joe one would be
of course that was in the corner of every single Nintendo game that they made.
Literally every game.
Yeah,
100%. Joe, yours would be like Zangief's in the middle or something, or it's like your beard. Your beard is like the end of the circle.
I shaved the beard. I'll grow it back. Don't worry. Winter's coming.
Winter's coming. Winter's gone. Winter's gone now. But winter's gone.
You can prepare yourselves for. All right. Well, anyway. We have some news. There's some game news that we probably ought to talk about before we end this show. Our Street Fighter in particular, we just ran the EVO nominations. We ran voting.
That is awesome. Yeah.
And people turned up and they spoke, and we're going to try. I think it makes sense. I've ran the preliminary budgeting. I've talked to the players. I think we can send 3 people. I think we're going to send Born Free won the vote. He was first. Number 2, Jester Power from the UK.
Nice.
And 3 was Maureen.
Maureen. Love me some Maureen. Great girl.
Yeah, this will be the second time.
I love all of it. I don't really know Jester Power, but
He's actually, speaking of Jester Power, and I know that I've told this story on this show before, but I'll tell it again. He's actually a phenomenal player, phenomenal person, and he's a great Vega player.
Don't know him as a person, but I'll take your word for it.
It was Evo of last year. And I've only talked to him a couple times, but for whatever reason, I ended up standing behind him watching his losers set his bracket he was in the losers bracket. I'm sorry, lower bracket. I'm sorry, bracket of alternative skill. One of my favorites.
Watch yourself, Joe.
I know. I have to. You got to make it PC on that one.
I am not a loser. You call me a loser. I am a winner. My mom calls me a winner.
Bracket of alternative winners, or one of my people don't know that lower bracket just stands for lower skill brackets, so we're fucking up all around. Anyway,
it's honestly not much better. You're calling me lower skilled. All right,
it literally doesn't matter. I don't know why we're having it's ridiculous. I hope the people who care about that shit eat each other. Anyway, so it was his losers bracket against Happy Medicine, who is a Bison player.
Great player.
I think he's from Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to say yes. He's an interesting fellow.
Regardless, Jester Power loses immediately. This is not like they were on their set and people are still playing pools around them.
Right. He loaded up the replay, huh?
They went to the replay. Right. And they started watching it, and Jester was like, "Well, what happened here?" And they talked through their set immediately after it happened. That's interesting. Not like a second passed, and he was like, "Okay, I'm out of the tournament. How'd this happen?"
So he should have brought the replay up, and Happy Medicine helped him.
Well, Happy Medicine was there because like he was also kind of learning the matchup as well. And then,
but he beat him.
Yeah, Happy Medicine won. He won, and still like because not a lot of people play Vega, so it's like one of those off match. But then like matches. All of the Vegas descended on that moment. Like Geki was there, Tourniquet was there, like M Lizard. Sorry.
Yeah, I like M Lizard.
They were all there, being like, well, here's actually okay. Well, here's
what you could have done.
It was bananas.
Why did you do this?
They were all being super helpful to each other. It was a good moment. Anyway, that's awesome. My Gesture Power story from EVO of last year. He's in the sponsorship. Great. So we're going to try and get all of those people funded and out to the event within, it's a little over a month now. I think we can do it. We've got some really good.
It's almost a month.
I know, man. When I say it out loud, it's scary. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I need to get shit done. But then my body is like, you need to sleep. Go to bed.
You need to sleep for sure. You started off the podcast. Why am I falling asleep on this podcast, guys?
Yeah, I know. That was like the first thing that I said as soon as we started this call. I was like, hey, man,
I want you to know.
I need
keep
your power.
Expectations low. I'm tired.
Keep it low. Because I'm running on fumes, my guy.
My guy.
I'm excited for this. I think the Born Free is going to get a lot of good interviews out there.
100%.
Excited to see what Gesture Power and Maureen can do. This will be the second time that we've sponsored Maureen and Born Free, actually.
Oh, really?
And the funny thing about
sponsor Born Free the first time,
it was like, was it 2017? I think this was 2017. It was to NCR, and there was a stretch goal to DreamHack Austin, I believe.
Right.
And people were like, "Yeah, sure."
I did my interview with Born Free at DreamHack Austin.
Oh, no shit.
2017. Yeah, like I remember that was one of the top 8 winners, and when it was a premiere. Yeah, that was sick.
Wow, because
I gotta thank him. I gotta thank Born Free and you, I guess, for helping me get on tempo then, because that stuff really helps. Having interviews definitely helps. It shows off your personality, you know.
That is. I did not expect things to be tied up so nicely in this conversation.
Together, I know.
But here we are.
Circle. I know. What is
funny how like continually trying to do good things for the community ends up wrapping itself back around and is just generally good for people.
I'm telling you, Joe. I mean, I'm always grateful, but I'm a bit more grateful now. Maybe gonna donate to the funds a little more.
Anyway, I'm looking to get that up and running by Monday. We've got the good designs pretty much.
Good.
They're almost all complete. Maureen wanted to do her own design again this time.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see Marines. I bet
it is. I saw the sketch of it. It is a voluptuous. In that way that you might think it is.
Of course.
I say it out loud because this is Maureen who designed it, not Eve. And I'm not like separating myself from it. I just want to give her props for it. It'll be good.
I can't wait to see Maureen. You're wild. All right, next.
She wild. But also with Maureen, we actually have some specials. There's a couple other like special things for this particular fundraiser that we've been like sitting on for a while that we're gonna deploy for this one, and it's gonna be real good. So we have surprises.
All you guys that voted, there are surprises. I want to see you donate. All right, enough of this just voting and no donating. I did vote last day, but I will be donating. Okay. Doesn't matter.
Put your money where you're voted. I'll say this out loud because I think that this is something that I think can put it into perspective, where if everyone who had voted just for those 3 who were going to be sponsoring, I think with the money raised by all of that, we could sponsor everyone on that list. That was like up for like it could have happened that way. If everyone donated just $5.
Yeah.
Just $5 for your vote
for just
could lead
$5. You could sponsor this homeless marine.
Yeah, this homeless poo-poo head. No, but that just, to me, I think puts it into perspective where it's like every little bit. I understand that there's a lot of people also who are incapable of doing something like that, and I don't want to put pressure on people like that.
Of course,
that's just if you can.
Just saying, if you can subscribe to some guy, you're a meme lord on Twitter, you can donate $5. Help your community.
It's a possibility. Well, anyway, that's all I kind of wanted to say about that, because we've got more information coming up soon.
Awesome. Can't wait to see the rest of that.
Speaking of your show, actually, Vicious in the SFL USA.
Oh, yeah. That's going on right now as we're talking.
Yeah, it is. They are underway. I'm sure they're probably halfway through the second set as of right now, but
I think so.
That's been what's your take on that? Have you been following? Have you been watching?
I have been watching. It's been pretty fun to watch. I enjoy the format more than I thought I would. So, I'm happy to see it turning out the way it is, because I was a little curious about how the banning would work out, but right. I thought it turned out really well. It's really made it kind of more entertaining than I thought it could be.
Yeah, I think we were all skeptical on the banning situation, and I won't ask you to get into that. I think that conversation's a bit tired at this point. But I'm just saying, the cool thing about that is that it gives the other less experienced members a chance to shine. There's the whole Idom and Mikey situation, like Samurai. Oh my gosh, we wouldn't have had that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Wouldn't have had that
every week. Just bam, bam, bam. Just OCB. It was pretty awesome, because I know Mikey's a really good player. Mm-hmm. So it's cool to see him get a platform to really shine. Because when people think of Akuma, they only really think of Taquito. And Mikey's someone who's really focused on his life and work right now. So it's nice to see him have an outlet for that, even though he can't really travel for CBT as much as he would like.
Yeah, there's a couple of players in that position. I mean, I would even say Idom is in that position of not really traveling all that much.
Yeah, exactly.
But although it did look like he was thinking about getting out the house recently.
He got out and he got top 8 at Dan Premier. Like, well, dude.
Yeah,
if you get 5, 6, 7 times, you might make the Capcom Cup.
Oh, yeah, and that's all it takes? And it's like, yeah, he fucking cooks. Everyone in NLBC is like, yeah, we fucking know he's strong. What are you talking? He only would need to travel to a couple in order to make it in top 32. What are we doing?
I feel like Idom's, his neutral is not the best, but he also suffers from, Laura can only do so much in neutral, but he kind of makes up for it with how creative he is and how on point he is with all his reads. And he's very patient for the payoff too, which I think not enough Lauras do. He'll really condition you and make sure that his reads will connect, instead of just going, all in, I'm gonna dash SPD or do unsafe stuff all the time. It's pretty calculated. But I do know Idom goes ham with the V-skill overheads when he's losing. That's his
That's the tell. That's the read that you have. That's your. That's your turning of the Oreo cookie. Is that the?
That's
the
it.
tell?
That's my Oreo.
Okay.
My food for Oreo. It's just he's gonna overhead. But yeah, I'm really happy, to see how the SF League turned out. It's not sure who's gonna win. I'm gonna probably have to check in after this podcast, see who wins. But
yeah,
I really think Punk's team has a good shot at winning right now. Of course, but yeah, let's see who takes it.
I agree. I think I agree with your position in that it has turned up to be more fun than I expected.
Oh yeah.
And
sure.
That's great. And I think that Vicious and Steve do a great job hosting that show. It's been
and Rich, yeah. Great
it's
job.
been real good.
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad, they got my boy Jeremy, who I do the show with, and Ringe even on there. I feel like TCC is a given, so I'm really happy that the other two are getting more opportunities like that. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good to put people in front of the mic who are genuinely excited about the things that they are seeing. That's a breath of fresh air, I should say.
It is, and they really do love, being up on the stage. They really do love commentating and stuff too. So I'm really happy for them.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's kind of close out the episode. One short thing I do want to bring up about Sam Show, which is coming out. Is that like next week or 2 weeks? I feel like we're right there.
I feel like we're right there. Yeah, it has to be because Evo is like around the corner, right?
Yeah, it's again a little over a month, and that game is main stage Evo.
That's great,
man. Imagine this situation. Oh, holy shit! I didn't even think about this until you saying that it was an Evo game. So to reel it back a little bit. Weed, aka Loic Petit, find him on Twitter at WYDD. He's been on this show before. He's an incredibly intelligent person. Has his whole setup and methodology of testing input lag. Before the game came out, in the testing, he tested it and was like, "Hey, SNK, y'all done goofed. This is trash. This is in fact the worst."
They really were on it, right? Like they responded to them.
And within like 3 days, they were like, "Hey, we're going to A, make another build of the game, B, fly someone out to Paris where you live to test this new setup, this new build of the game on your specific setup."
Wow.
To then test. They were like, okay, yes, there is a problem. We recognize that. Our guys are on it. And even when they said our guys were on it, I'm like, okay, they did say their guys. We'll see how that turns out. And it's no, they fucking fly a build out to the dude who tested it originally. And it's like, oh.
That's so sick.
They actually do give a fuck. Can you imagine a world where they didn't fix it? And it's at 8 frames of delay with like 82% variance.
They're like, fuck it, Street Fighter V Season 1 did okay. People,
on the main stage.
People weren't that,
man. That would have been.
People would be getting lit up with that, like 80% comp.
That's all you would see in the chat is 8 frames, 8 frames, 8 frames. Like as soon as it would come up, guaranteed. But no, they prevented all of that shit within a week's time. Just so hats off to SNK there. That was
my hats off are definitely to SNK. That's awesome. And I heard like the people like designed SF4 are designing, fighting spirits. So
yes,
dude, this is our samurai spirit. So it's really sick to see that they care so much about the community still, and like they're committed to giving us, the FGC the best fighting game we can get. Stability.
It's specifically that designer. I should figure out what his name is. He did Third Strike, SF.
Oh, he did Third Strike too.
Hold on. You know what? Just write in if you know the answer and blow me up on twitter.com. I'll give a fuck. If I'm wrong about that, just be sure to tag me and put me on blast. I don't care. I can take it. But the last bit of it, so just, again, tip of the hat to you guys out there. That's okay. Good shit. And one last thing, one last good boy I have to bring up is that Brick, the official dog of our Street Fighter, is in a fighting game.
Oh, is he?
He's in Bayani now, which is the fighting game from the Philippines. It is my Goku boy is in a fighting game. That's all I have to say about.
Did you set this up?
The
main guy's name is Joe. I'm looking at this. The main guy's name is Joe.
And there's a little Brick in the corner. Here's the thing about Brick that you guys need to know. He loves violence. It's one of his favorite things.
He's right there watching. I see him, and he's just watching.
Loves it. Very patiently waiting and watching. Just like hats off to those guys. It's just a fun little goof that I think is very good. And that is you can count the 3 spots on one side, the one big spot on the other. That is Brick in the game. So if anyone's curious,
you did it, Joe, but you worked your magic, your RSF magic.
I might have. I might have done that.
That's awesome. Brick,
but regardless,
the goodest boy.
If you're not familiar with that game, because it's not really. I mean, it's kind of like an off the beaten path game. It plays like. Do you remember Rising Thunder?
Yes, so it's one button inputs.
Yes, it is similar to that, except
So funky.
to do EX moves, you do quarter circle forward and then the button. So it's kind of a interesting mix of both. There might be potential in that game. I don't know. It plays kind of choppy. Like, in my opinion, it still needs work. It's still like early access. So like,
Right.
they're working on it. It's funny. Brick is in the game. That's really all I care about. So that's.
If you don't support Brick, I don't want to know you. All right.
I mean, at the very least, just sharing. Look at those look at that go boy. He loves fights.
I'm looking at your feed. That's definitely him.
Yep.
Definitely him.
That's a brick right there. It's very good. But I mean, other than that, there's some good FGC dogs out there.
Did you see our dog he's in the Etsy thing for
I did. The official Etsy store of who's the person who runs it? I was going to force you to say it out loud because I wasn't about to try it. I should share that in the show notes. I'll share that in the show notes.
Dude.
But it's official dog collars that have like Street Fighter stuff on it.
Yeah.
And also like bandanas. What got a Chun-Li?
Yeah.
It's cool stuff.
It is cool. Dude, when Carolyn sent me that, I was dying. Like, because I was away for work, and I was like, oh, this is too funny right now.
Yeah,
like why would they put Kirby I was like, well, how did they even get a picture of our dog for one? That's kind of creepy, but I couldn't help but feel honored.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that you have no idea how someone on the internet could find a picture of your dog who I'm sure I can find a picture of Kirby like right within 24 seconds. I could get a hold of a good dog. I could find an FGC dog within 30 seconds. Give me time to hit the internet. I'll find them.
I'm sure you could do it, but how the hell does some random person Etsy find that? That just creeped me out, dude. But
I imagine Carolyn had something to do with that.
Absolutely not. We talked about it.
We're really?
We have no idea. Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
It's weird, but we'll take it as a compliment. Thank you. I think she tagged them, and then that's kind of how they got that picture.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, because she always tag.
I would get one for Brick, but he's a no collar boy.
No collar boy.
He goes naked.
And just like in the game, no collar boy. Yeah.
He goes no. Although we do take him on walks, which he needs a collar for that.
But you just like having him be free for the most part, right?
Yeah, when he's around the house, he's free boy. He doesn't like he didn't see a need for it. But
I see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he's not going to get out, and he doesn't run away. He doesn't run away is the thing, and that we know he's not going to run away, so we don't have any worry. And we have a fenced in yard, so it's if he gets out, he's not going to run away. He's the kind of dog where if he started to run away, he would take 3 steps and then immediately look directly at us, barrel us and be like, "Hey, is this no?
Is this okay? Am I good?
No run. Okay.
So he is a good boy.
He's a very good boy.
He's a good boy like that too. I'm glad you have a good boy.
He's very, very good.
One day we have to have a dog FGC meetup. We got to do it.
That is true. FGC dogs, we need it. So if you have an FGC dog, hit us with that hashtag FG. Oh, wait a minute. What's the tag? I should know this. Dogs of the FGC.
Dogs of the FGC.
Dogs of the FGC. That's the hashtag that you want to hit up for sure. But anyway, that's the show. Unless there's anything else that you want to cover before we sunset this episode.
No, I am happy with this podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to. It's pretty fun hanging out with you, Joe. I'm definitely down to do this again sometime.
Yeah. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming on. But I cannot let you go. I can't let you go.
Oh, okay.
I have to ask you the same question that I ask everyone who comes on this show for the first time. It's a line of questioning that comes in 2 parts. The first part of this question is, what is your favorite normal attack in any fighting game? Because I think it could tell a lot about a person by the choice of buttons they decide they want to press in the neutral.
This will just show I'm a terrible person, but My favorite normal attack is Soccer's 3-frame stand heavy punch. It was the best. I would wake up with it. I would delete people.
That button made her godlike. That's what made her a character.
So
it was ridiculous.
You could jab and block her DP like Rufus. Okay, I had to wake up with Fierce sometimes. Okay, it's a mix-up.
That's the thing. It is. It really is. Waking up with the Fierce is because why wouldn't you?
I'm not a gorilla. Thank you for telling the people I'm not a gorilla.
If you're gonna wake up with a risky button, why wouldn't it be Fierce? You have no reason not to.
Exactly. Even if it's a 12-frame Fierce, just do it. Like they're gonna fuck up. Just do it.
I do actually stand to that, especially if someone's trying to like shimmy you. Like if you're gonna wake up with a button, go big. Don't fuck around.
Dude, you know what's the craziest thing? I've seen some really wild players do, Phenom and Oil King. Mm-hmm. They will wake up Brown House.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I do that. They're trying to.
That makes sense as Zangief. Like you think they're gonna backdash? They're scared of the SPD. They don't want to be close. But these motherfuckers are like hard read. This guy's gonna delay throw at me, so they do wake up Brown House. I'm too scared to do something like that, but.
It doesn't help that Sakura's roundhouse is like what 13.
Who is Sakura again? I don't even know anymore.
Oh no, that's right. Oh no. Oh no. Let's not get into that. Oh no.
I tried so hard.
Shout outs to Space Boy, by the way.
Shout outs to Space Boy.
Hell yeah.
Carry the flag strong, my brother.
Anyway, so the next part of the question. So you like the stand Fierce. I full agreement. However, what is your favorite combo in any fighting game?
Favorite combo? I'm not thinking of one I can do. So it's either Sakura's DJ combo in 4. I got like 5 or 6 loops without like a focus attack cancel.
Right.
Or Evil Ryu's Rufus combo.
Right.
So pretty basic.
You get the extra loops on DJ because he sticks out that hand, and because of the way
it's just natural hurtbox. I think he's just
big. Yeah. Well, no, specifically for that. The reason why DJ's hurtbox is so big, let me go back to history on this one because this is interesting. The way that the game was coded originally, and this like carried over into like the later characters that they introduced, they just never corrected it because of the way that the game was built, was that all of the hurtboxes were model tied, but it was in a 3D space. So they were like, we don't fucking know what we're doing. These hurtboxes are crazy because they were tied to the models. So it was like normals would whiff because they whiffed in 3D space, even though if you looked at where it was in 2D space, it looked like it hit. Right.
Oh,
then that
makes sense because DJ has like he looks like he has a normal hurtbox, you know?
Yeah. But
sorry, go on.
It's not, because if you flatten that, if you take that model hurtbox and then flatten it, I don't know if that makes sense, but it didn't necessarily do great. It made things kind of different and kind of fucky in that game. So like specifically with DJ is that, and if you look at it too, when he gets hit, he kind of like curls over, but also his hand goes out, and it's that
he shifts
hand
outward.
Yeah, it's that hand that comes out a little bit that you can just shake hands with, specifically with Sakura, where you get those loops.
Sakura's Tatsu. Shake hands with my Tatsu, mofo.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad I brought that combo up, because I just got to figure out some lore I never knew. I was just destroying this poor motherfucker, and I never knew why.
He was cursed from the start, in which also ended up cursing later iterations of that game. That's how we get Elena in the state that she was. So a little bit of lore on her boxes. Shout outs to Hatson for teaching me that shit.
Love Hatson. He's helped me quite a bit.
Oh man, he's talk about like very knowledgeable people within the FGC.
Him, Ominous Games, good people. Good,
absolutely.
Good lab monsters.
All right, well, I think that'll do it for us. That is a show. I'm calling it. Unless there's anything else you want to do or say or pitch, where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, let's just run through it. You can find me on Twitter at Alex Myers FGC. Same for Twitch. It's twitch.tv Alex Myers FGC. And follow my YouTube on youtube.com/Alex Myers SF4. So that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Joe, for having me.
It's been a pleasure. It has been great talking to you and catching up on all the stuff you've been doing in the FGC. It's been much appreciated.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to hear that you're on the mend and back on the scene.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the last part? I think my audio cut out.
No, it's been great to see you back as a competitor and be making waves in the scene. So.
Thank you.
With that, folks, that'll do it. That's a show. You can find me at Super Joe Monday or at RedditSF on Twitter.com, or just go on over to our Street Fighter and find me, Joe_Monday. That is a show. Find us every Thursday. Don't forget about the weekly tournaments. We have the East Coast on Monday and the Round Robin on Monday as well, and the West Coast on Friday nights. So look out for that. They've been doing great recently. People have been showing up by the droves. It's been crazy.
That's great. Yeah, check them out. Support RSF. They're our main supporter in Street Fighter World. So
honestly, that's the part that has. This is kind of a side conversation, but like that part has gotten super weird to me. Like that whole history of the majority of people being like, "Fuck our Street Fighter," and then like over the last 3 years, people being like, maybe our Street Fighter's okay. Maybe
they're okay. Maybe they're what we need.
Maybe it's okay to have like a hub where people can post things Street Fighter related. It's like
you've really grown it like a lot over the years. You should be proud. Like you've done a good job.
That's a whole other conversation. But thank you very much for that. And that is the show, folks. Find us over on our Street Fighter. Until next time, take care.
Later, guys. All right, Joe. That went well.